because our empire is going to be incredibly expansive and very populous. We have too many bonuses to like population size as well as cheapness of founding new colonies to not make use of it. So let's plan on a settlement here around here eventually. So 1, 2, 3, somewhere south of the geese. Fortunately, there are no rivers very close by around here. So wherever the settlement gets settled, you need to make sure that it's not an unhealthy terrain because it's not coastal. Founding on rock steps will provide no food in the central city. We might want to just found like right on the plains right here. If I found on the plains, I access the beehives, the lumber, the geese. Eventually, well, this will have access to the first settle. Kind of thinking right here. And then 1, 2, 3, we can start thinking about mining the silver here. Possibly by settling... Oh, let's fix that real quick. Right there. So that would mine silver. I'm also in competition with the Spanish a little bit, but it depends on how fast they develop. And I was thinking about selling guns to the mixed tech because of the Spanish. I could sell some guns specifically over here and then get them embroiled in a conflict with the Spanish, which is going to happen sooner than us getting into conflict with them. If I look at Hernan Cortez, yeah, they are furious with them. So I would love to sell them some guns if I could get away with it, maybe with that caravel that's coming in. So they can fight the Spanish down here, and then if I don't sell them too many guns, they won't be able to arm a lot of their people, just a decent number. Could be shooting myself on the foot though. Let's think about a colony a little bit further westward of here. So 1, 2, 3, closest place would be right here. That would have access to coal, birds, fish for food. Birds I'm not going to make use of. Eventually have access to lemon trees. Would not have access to the clay down here. I do need a source of clay at some point. But I think we have other sources of clay. Yeah, we have other sources nearby. But we will need a very steady supply of clay. Especially if we're expanding multiple colonies. Yeah, I think that's going to be what we do. We'll settle right there as well. So that is 4 settler sites that we're pretty much locked in. And then 2 that we're kind of iffy about because of issues with the mixed tech. 2,946 gold. Do I want to spend any of that? I actually can't really unless I want to buy somebody specific. And I think I do want to buy somebody specific. I want to buy a carpenter if I don't have any carpenters available. No, I do not see any carpenters available, so let's buy, not carpenters, but actually maybe carpenters. Yeah, we're not producing enough lumber. Without the lumber, the carpentry would not be any better. So let's buy the lumber first. Let's buy the lumberjack. Should be near the top. There he is. And then we'll buy a carpenter not long after that, probably. Man, my start is a lot slower on this map than the other maps I've been playing. We'll see how that unfolds. I'm kind of thinking we send these treasures... No, let's just chill out where we're at. That's a waste of time, but I didn't realize that the pearly gates were completely surrounded. I mentioned that multiple times in my other things I've been doing about this mod. So this carrot just unloaded his occupants into the pearly gates. But there's nothing that they can do at the moment because we can't sustain them in terms of health. And I don't want to lose my plus 10% to everything. So this character is probably just gonna chill out where it is until the settlers get back. We've got a free colonist that we found in the middle of nowhere, so we can get him trained up in something very helpful and specific. Maybe expert rice farmer, actually. I do like the sound of that. So we'll send him over in that direction, just kind of ignoring the animals. Chances are he won't die, but who knows. It'll be a long time before he'll actually be able to help us out anyway. I'm finally starting to get more money rolling in at the same time. My treasures are starting to pile up. They just need to all get together. And then we need to start sailing the galleon back and forth from the mainland, which means that we need to find some... Well, specifically we need to make a colony down here so that I can be like, hey, go straight there, and then it'll come back from Europe around here, and then go straight into the colony. As opposed to having to spawn way up here, and then take like 2-3 turns just getting down there. It's way too long. There we go, got some experience on our merchantman. I'm very, very happy about that. A native slave has saved the life of one of our colonists who fell beneath the hooves of wild horses. The colonist now asks that the slave be set free for his bravery. So we could have a converted native turn into, or just lost, period. Or, interesting. Alright, so we could just reward him. I guess he'll come back as a free man, hopefully. Or we can give him some guns, and the converted native will become a... Oh, we'll receive a converted native. Gotcha, so it's a native slave, right? Good. I was kind of wondering about that. I was like, converted native? What am I talking about? But no, the slave will become a converted native, which would be pretty good. Or he could become a native mercenary if we give him some guns, promising him a salary. I really like native mercenaries. They're very good. They're not... I mean, yeah, they're better than converted natives. So now we have even more troops. We could probably take the Carib right now and destroy them, but there's not a whole lot of reason to do that. We probably wouldn't get that much gold from taking out their cities. And besides, we need our foothold down here. And then we can start like trying to sweep west and destroying them as we find them. I do need to adjust my population now though, I believe. Oh, and our borders expanded as well. Very good, and pearly gates. Oh, we must have had a random native slave that was just sitting outside get converted. That must have been it. Gotcha. Because I didn't see anything that was different. Ugh. This is all Carib land. All of it over here. That's controlled by them. Like, all of this is Carib land, and then it ends about here and becomes Mixtec land. And Mixtec land is all this. So yeah, we're going to be taking, like, the hat up here of the continent from the Carib. Alright, got navigation 1 and 2, so we have much more movement range for our merchant man. I'm gonna go ahead, I think, and probably send him back, yep, right now, to Europe. The caravel can bring back these two, but there'll be more people after that. Oh, we found some gold that we'll never make use of. Not a big deal. Still good to find it though from time to time. Maybe in 150 years we'll be down there. I'm gonna go ahead and bring these troops down to this settlement. With the Carrick doesn't have much else to do at the moment. Yeah, the start is really not going super hot, considering how little I had to do for my ships. But maybe I got one too many ships. We should be having plenty of crosses being produced though, or... Yeah, we got the firebrand preacher, so he's not bad. We need to expand, and having the galleon get blocked was kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. Alright, caravel has arrived. Gonna dump the sugar, grab the statesman settler and the lumberjack, head out immediately. And hopefully we can get that second colony established pretty soon. Well, shit. You can't enter a basic colony without a pier built. So yeah. I guess that's gonna be the first thing we build. Alright then. You don't need to go into the colony for the treasures, but you do need to do it to drop off goods, which we have at the moment. We got that cabinet maker's house finished, so next up we're definitely going to have to go for a medical office to start producing health. We've been challenged to trade more sugar than any other nation, or to trade specifically 12,000 sugar before any other nation. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. So we get Jean de Babeuf. He gives us an evangelist. Natives are more tolerant towards territory encroachment, less time spent learning among natives, less time spent living among natives to learn a new skill, and strengthens relationships with the natives. Well, maybe we will do that. I don't think we will, but it's a possibility. If we didn't do that, we could go for Peter Minuit, 2 hardy pioneers, 25% more peat in all settlements. I don't care about that, and half cost of native land purchasing. Maybe. He's quite far away though. Alternatively, we could go for Nikolay Petrovich Rezanov, but that would be a long time before we have enough trade points, so I wouldn't worry about that one. There's Francisco Pizarro, but we need military points that we don't have. You know what? We kind of might as well take this dude. He'll give us an evangelist, which you can use to produce more crosses than a firebrand preacher can at a regular chapel. And the natives will not be as upset about us initially, so we can delay how long it'll be until we start the war. I'm okay with this guy actually, let's take him. And then notice here we have 4 crosses being produced at the moment with a total of 5.28. if we swap out these two, we're now producing a total of 6.6 crosses after multipliers. So yeah, the preacher, the evangelist, missionary dude is better than Firebrand at a chapel. I think he's also better than at a church, or I think they're exactly the same at a church. Yeah, they balance out. So now the Firebrand preacher didn't have shit to do. So we're just gonna stand around because we got nothing else for him to do. Well, now we can swap the cabinet maker over to making furniture. And we actually have something that we can sell that's not borderline garbage. Because 4 gold for each one's not great. Like, it's in line with other general raw goods, but I really want to convert that exotic wood into furniture before I do anything else. And now that I've got that being converted, I might want to pull this criminal out, because we have plenty of exotic wood stored up. And instead, I want the Firebrand preacher to do some more carpentry so that we can get things built faster. But that guy actually had a hammer modifier of 2. Interesting. So, yeah. So we're actually getting positive lumber now, which is good. It slows down our production of the medical office, though. But we need to just live with that. We need a proper master carpenter. So how are the crew feeling now? They're actually neither good nor bad. The Arawak are feeling good, and the Mixtec are feeling good. If I don't have to kill the natives, I'm not going to do it. That's not the focus of this particular game. And that's not the one of the play styles that I'm focusing on either. Let's actually just drop off the people nearby so that my carrot can get back to work sooner rather than later. And the 3rd season scout is now rolling out. We just got some experience. And it'll be going to another ruin over here. They are a little bit late to the party though, that's for sure. We have religious salvation for the natives. Go then into the wilderness and proclaim God's word. Convert these godless savages so that they may follow us to heaven and give us their gold for the benefit of the church. Save their souls from eternal damnation and bring me their gold. Yes, Father, I will not disappoint you. I know that, my son. If you do fail, you'd better stay right there with them. Now go. And that was because we got a missionary. Alright, merchantman is here. I'm gonna wait. Or will I? No, let's make another settler. Screw it. Let's just spend the money now and get back home. We need to expand rapidly. We have way too many people just standing around doing nothing. Been challenged to become the market leader for horses. We'll see if that ever happens. It's a possibility, but I don't think we'll ever really be selling horses to Europe. Okay, so with much of this region explored, I'm going to have my scout in the middle continue on down this direction. My scout up here will finish up this little area right here and then head back over to the far west. Scout that out. And my scout in the desert will probably do a little bit of scouting this direction, southwest, and then go southeast. Kind of like start picking things up again over here. Oh, it's not exotic wood, it's valuable wood. Let's list it as both now. Exotic wood, valuable wood. Looks like they're working on changing that. Let's go ahead, let's pick up the sugar and the furniture, and we'll send the carrot back to sell some goods. Alright, we got a elder statesman settler and a lumberjack. We need to go into the colony first and swap out this elder statesman with somebody that is actually going to do the settling. And then we need to put in the... Let's keep the slave here, maybe. And, let's swap out the harlot for the elder statesman. That'll increase our Liberty Bell production quite a bit. So who is going to found the colony? Well, we can probably do it with the lumberjack. We're fine on lumber here for the moment. So let's turn you into a settler, and then we'll send the Firebrand preacher with him to eventually do some preaching in the chapel that we build. And instead of the Firebrand preacher doing carpentry, let's get the harlot doing some carpentry. Why not? That sounds good to me. And then the caravel sells on down south to finally make our second colony. Sometimes it takes a while. It depends on the start. Yeah, looking at the colony, next things that I really would like would be obviously somebody working in the medical office, but that's easy enough to take care of. But I need a pearl diver. But before that, I need a carpenter. I need a carpenter and then a pearl diver. Highly doubt that either of those are going to just appear for us, though. This caravel moves so friggin' fast with the double movement through favorable wind, plus the extra movement that it already has. I don't think it's very likely that we're going to get a pearl diver immigrant. Ooh, hardy pioneer. Hardy pioneer. I would take him. Just got to check in a couple turns. I'll check every turn from here on out until I get that guy at the cheapest rate. Oh boy, the church wants us to donate money. We are delighted to see the colonies acquiring wealth, but in Europe people are suffering. Thus, since you are good Christians, you would surely like to donate 1,113 gold to your mother church so we can help them. If we don't do it, it upsets our colonists. If we do it, usually it gives us something. Emigration of faithful Christians to our colony has increased. Very cool. Anyway, let's sail on in here and let's offload the firebrand preacher and the settler and then bail. I might go with scouting with this caravel. We'll think about it. Alright, finally we can settle here. I think I might just have to suck up. We'll see how long the pier is going to take actually before we think about sending the galleon back with whatever treasure we can fit on it. Let's go ahead and let's build. And now what shall we call you? You've got access to banana, fish, to pier. Your major thing is just taking up space. So definitely be a fishing-centric village in terms of food. There's also pearls here too. I could just call it Pearl Harbor. Screw it, we got the pearly gates and we got Pearl Harbor. So the pier right now would take... Let's get the preacher to work doing his thing. 12 turns. In that 12 turns we could go to Europe and back, which is very true. And over those 12 turns we'll be receiving a few more treasures. Let's see what the total treasure amount is that we have at the moment. It is less than 9,000. It is 8,436. I think that's reasonable to bring back. Because I need the freaking carpenter, and then I need some pearl divers. Like ASAP, I need pearl divers. To facilitate that, maybe I should do some exploration with this caravel and try to find some more gold. We got a merchantman back. The merchantman does have a settler trained up, which is of a free colonist type. I would like to settle the next settle right now. To do that, I probably want to send not the rangers, but the native mercs. No, just send the regular free colonist militia. So let's go pick that dude up, and then we'll settle the second site. Actually, hold on, do I want to take anybody on my way? Is a very interesting question that I need to think about, because there's a bunch of people in the pearly gates just standing around doing jack squat. But we have already started to move that direction. We can settle faster. We can settle like on the way back, basically. Oh geez, I got lucky. I got the hardy pioneer. I forgot to keep checking. I'm just chilling out, having a good time with this, man. So we have an extended journey. Stunned cries ring out, then there's a clatter up the narrow stairs, and a ragged crowd of immigrant children in clogs tumbles onto the ship's bridge. Take it easy, the captain grumbles amiably. Their parents follow, the mother wringing her hands, and the father looking as indignant as if he'd eaten bad porridge. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, he shouts, pointing to the nearby coastal village the ship is sailing past. Why don't you take us ashore? Distrust and fear are suddenly written all over his face. Are you looking for a remote bay to sell us to the pirates? Then the captain laughs so heartily the children start to giggle. Don't worry, my good man. Look down the coast and see those plumes of smoke on the horizon. The good governor has long called this second settlement his own. There you will find your new home. And His Majesty has benevolently recognized the foundation of your second colony in the New World and offers his support. We'd like to respectfully thank your Majesty, and we appreciate your support. May we most humbly state that we are in dire need of resources to build up our colonies, which would be the resources for a wagon train. It gives 60 sailcloth, 60 tools, and 60 horses. Or we can get 150 blades by considering the protection of our colony against wild animals and native raiders. I would rather go with a wagon train. It won't be of any use on the island, really, unless we want to trade with the Carib and try to keep them off our backs. But we are going to get in their face pretty often. Let's go ahead and let's send back the treasures that we have on hand to Europe, and we'll get that gold ASAP. I needed to compress all that gold down in order to get the most value out of it, in my opinion. So that is what I did. We found the Swedish exploration caravel, looks like to me. Otherwise, he wouldn't be sailing around here doing nothing. Yeah, Johann Prince. They are enterprising, sophisticated, agricultural. They're all about getting a very large population naturally and training that population through hard work. Let's actually take a quick look at Johann Prince's, not Fritz's, traits. So the Swedes get less anger from slaves, they get more food in every settlement, as well as a free corn chamber, which gives them a +1 food per turn, +1 happiness, but it also stores 10% of growth, 10% of food after growth. And then they also get a free village well, so they get an immediate +1 health, +1 happiness from that as well, and that actually saves them quite a bit of tools. They also need 10% less food for population growth, and their pioneers work 10% faster. This particular Swedish leader is better at getting good prices from bargaining and trading posts, and he has half-price missionary, native trader, and pioneer equipment. Native traders are used to establish trading posts that you can gather treasure from naturally over time. He's sophisticated as well, so he has +2 culture, +2 law in every settlement, and he focuses on culture, education, law, and the entertainment buildings get built twice as fast, plus half cost of training settlers, and 50% higher chance they learn specialism by hard work. So yeah, they're very good at just economy, like straight up, like trading. They're pretty good at getting more natives. They're pretty good at getting their land improved, growing population, educating that population. They're pretty thick. They're good at what they do, that's for sure. And now, they have as many movement points as we do. Okay. So I'm gonna guess that they've been all over the southeast portion. And we should check out all of this area. Hey, we found another lost missionary. Now this guy is a good question as to what I would like to do with him. I can have him in the actual colonies in about 30 turns. I think I'd rather do that, honestly. He's just better off making crosses for us instead of converted natives. I could make some missions in the mixed tech to get converted natives since they convert faster, but I think I'd rather just have the cross production. Alright, let's grab the colonial militia and then let's sail on down to the second settle location. Good deal. I'm fine with this colony producing grapes on the center tile. That's a-okay with me. We might actually make this a bit of a wine village eventually. Now the merchant man, what should we do with you exactly? We have a carrack on the way back that can pick up people, and a galleon as well to pick up anything else in terms of goods that we need. So the merchant man is actually pretty chill with going back and forth in my opinion. So let us do that, and we shall start spreading our population out so it can do some actual work. Alright, the enforced peace treaties between all of us are now gone, and we have the family reunion overseas. Friendly. The foreign officer waves his hat with a bobbing peacock feather. You wave your own hat, just as friendly. But your smile is only a masquerade. Once again you have encountered a foreign patrol. Once again you have encountered other Europeans who, like you, have set out for foreign lands. This continent once seemed so infinitely large to you. We've been meeting people, alright. Alright, let's sell this junk. Let's put the hardy pioneer on the ship. Indentured servant, remain an indentured servant, please. Don't need any goods. I don't need anything I can't pick up on the galleon. Do I want to pick up anybody right now? No, I do not. Maybe a master of integer, actually. But it'll be a while before we have a wine house set up. Or wine production facility. I think it's like a vintager's house. But I can't afford anybody at the moment. No, I can't. The galleon will be here in 4 turns. I could wait until the galleon arrives. And then the galleon will sell all that treasure and not the other stuff though. So we'll go up to about 10,000 gold. And then I could definitely buy some more people, that's for sure. I think we're gonna wait here. Wait for the galleon to arrive. I actually have an abundance of ships at the moment, which is a surprise. Usually I'm hurting for ships. So here comes an interesting question of how expensive is this gonna be? 17,742. That's not awful. That's not awful at all. And they're at +2 at the moment. I'm actually kind of inclined to pay this. Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna get plenty of money from the galleon. And what shall we call this, since we also have some pearls? Let's call it Mother O' Pearl. That's not it. That's not gonna get confusing at all. Here, what should we build first? I think we're gonna go with a chapel. We need the pier to get the resources off the friggin' galleon. over in Pearl Harbor. So Mother O' Pearl, this is going to be such a pain in the ass, Mother O' Pearl is going to do the typical cross production thing. We could send this caravel to look for the Western Passage as well. I should do that actually. I think that's what I'll do with it. It's nice to have an actual exploration ship and not be like, oh my god, I need more ships right now. But I'm going to feel like that in not too long. Yeah, I'm getting so much money now finally. We're starting to actually roll with all these scouts that we have. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of gold just rolling slowly towards us. You see this in the mini-map down here? All those red dots are us streaming towards the northeast. Mostly treasure units streaming northeast. Well, what shall we have, Mother of Oh shit, there's no lumber. I did not think about that. That's not a big deal. We can import lumber to Mother of Pearl, so building at the moment is going to take a while. There's actually no lumber within range at all except for this jungle here. Alrighty. But we can deal with that. I do believe this is the best spot because we can access the shrimp, and we can always access more of the water tiles with expert fishermen. Even basic water tiles without food resources, they do pretty good with experts. So I might actually let this colonist do his thing as a pearl diver, because he is making us effectively 48 gold per turn. Nothing else that he can do here can possibly come close to that. I'm also okay with making peat instead of ore. Peat combined with clay makes pottery. Pottery is decently pricey as a manufactured good. Right now it's going for 13 each, which is actually higher than cigars, I bet. Yep, which cigars sell for 10. So I'm cool with building up a stock of pottery, or peat, to make pottery. But yeah, we'll let you do your pearl diver thing temporarily. So now I need 1, 2, 3 pearl divers actually, and a carpenter. I'm not gonna have room in that carrack. I'll just have to drop the indentured servant off. Alright, who are we sending south? Let's take a look. We've got 9 turns until the doctor's office gets built, and when the doctor's office gets built, that will provide plenty of health, so that we can add, if we really wanted to, we could add everybody else, but we need to add a pearl diver. Ideally, I need a proper rancher. We are going to need another supply of hardwood, so somebody has to stay for hardwood, so the criminal stays for hardwood. And then I think we send like everybody else, honestly. No one else needs to stay here. Yeah, all y'all get on the boat. I'm having them walk onto the boat so that I can save movement range, movement points. It's probably a silly little like minor optimization, but you never know, it could work out to be something bigger. They could all combine together somehow. These guys have a really cool flag. Who are y'all? The Machiparo. What is your name? Your name is Machipara of the Machiparo. Okay, cool. Y'all are nomads, raiders, coastal warriors. Interesting. Really cool flag. Purple frog. Yeah, let's send this caravel to the west ASAP. See how... Well, let's skirt along the unexplored area just to be a little bit greedy. We'll ride the favorable winds as often as possible until we can no longer ride them anymore. Then we go around, just like this. Alright, not much that we can do for exploration, that's okay. There's too many storms and junk in the way. So that's kind of that's an experience of exploring on the sea. You have to like maneuver around clouds and stuff. Storms, fog, unfavorable wind. It makes it more interesting, that's for sure. There are other people here. A sigh escapes your chest. Again, the smoke of campfires curls into the sky in the distance. Again, you meet a tribe of these savages who seize this fertile land and claim their ancestors bequeathed it to them. But you know better. Only he who can enforce that right can claim it. You order your men to load their rifles and the priest to bless you. Alright, that's a little... You're implying a few too many things here, but okay. But yeah, realistically, we are going to get into a fight with the Carib. It's almost like guaranteed. These guys are upset that we have opened our borders with the Portuguese. I don't care. You can do whatever you want, bro. I don't even know where the Portuguese are at. Didn't they come from the northwest or something ridiculous? Yeah, so we must be like, well, we can't be. So the ice is down here. That's usually near the center. Desert's usually like kind of mid-latitude. We're getting colder as we get up north. So we must not be too far away from tundra up here. So that's going to be my guess as to what I find here pretty soon. Oh, some gold. More experience, I'll take that for sure. We got another slave hunter that arrived. We can bring him up to the pearly gates so that he can make sure the slaves don't run away as often. Hey, we got an actual expert native trader who was already equipped as a native trader. Very nice. He got lost. Who would we want to trade with? That's a damn good question. And the mixed tech Serpent Quechquetmito has 10% better prices on bargaining and trading posts. I prefer to set up a trading post in one of the largest settlements that she has.